SWOT looks inward while PESTLE scans the horizon. But what if they join forces? By blending internal strengths with external forces, we move from checklist to clarity. Welcome to SWOT Meet PESTLE. Strategy doesn't start at the boardroom table. It starts out here, where external forces and internal realities collide. In this scene, PESTLE and SWOT aren't just frameworks, they're signposts on the path to insight. The journey to strategic clarity begins by walking through both. SWOT isn't just about listing factors, it's about action. This framework becomes powerful when we ask the right questions. How do we leverage, overcome, exploit, and defend? Strategy lives in the answers. When SWOT meets PESTLE, strategy becomes spatial. Each of the 24 numbered cells represents a unique intersection of internal and external forces, pinpointing where strategic attention is most needed. Look closer. This isn't just a grid of data, it's a battlefield of strategy, where internal strengths meet external forces. Each number represents an intersection of a SWOT element with a PESTLE driver. But the real insight, it's in the clusters. Because these aren't random intersections, they're strategic convergence points. When multiple threats, trends, or strengths land in the same zone, they signal leverage or vulnerability. So don't just scan the map, decode it. The clusters are whispering where to act. Find them, follow them, build your next move on them. Strategic risks don't hit all assets the same way. By layering the SWOT-PESTLE grid across asset classes, from drainage to transportation, we gain a clearer view of how external pressures and internal dynamics uniquely shape each portfolio. Every element of PESTLE shapes your strategic landscape. In this session, we'll zoom in on one example from each domain, showing how external forces can either propel your strategy or challenge it. 6 forces, 6 snapshots, 1 integrated view of strategic readiness. Let's dive in. Starting off with the P of PESTLE. If top management is not committed, then this would be classified as a political weakness. With the board behind you, what was once tentative becomes tenable, and what was once delayed moves into drive. Cracks are forming not just in pipes but in performance and budgets. Aging infrastructure lands squarely on the matrix as an economic weakness. Left unaddressed, degradation compounds. But identified early, it becomes a catalyst for reinvestment, renewal, and resilience. The clock is ticking. The data is visible. The question is, will we act in time? A wave of retirements is coming, seasoned experts stepping away, chairs left empty. It's a social weakness, no doubt. But what if it didn't have to be? Enter the succession plan, your strategic counterweight. With the right planning, knowledge doesn't walk out the door, it gets passed on. On the matrix, one square may flash red, but another lights up in response. This isn't just risk mitigation, it's resilience in action. Retirements may be inevitable, but how you respond, that's the real story. The vote is in. Yes to a new software rollout. But enthusiasm alone doesn't guarantee success. It brings opportunity but also risk. Will the rollout align with user needs? Will it integrate smoothly? Deep in the matrix lies a quiet threat, expiring contracts on key assets. It's not dramatic, but it's dangerous. When service agreements lapse or warranties expire, risk creeps in through the cracks. But the good news? This weakness is predictable and preventable. With smart contract tracking and a solid renewal strategy, you can flip this square from liability to leverage. Because in asset management, foresight isn't just smart, it's strategic. Some forces don't stay in their lane. Climate change isn't just an environmental issue. It cascades across the strategy grid, reshaping both external risks and internal realities. Mapping it reveals how a single threat can ripple across your entire framework. Strategy gets sharper when the noise is mapped. Here, each pillar represents a real-world factor, internal or external, impacting the organization. By placing them across the SWOT-PESTLE grid, patterns emerge, risks surface, and priorities take form. The insights from our PESTLE SWOT analysis don't just sit in a matrix, they rise up into action. Each pillar in this landscape represents a driver, a risk, or an opportunity that shapes our strategic roadmap and strengthens our business case. Because in the end, strategy isn't just about knowing, it's about building. Let's use what we've learned to move forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose.